What's so different about Bruegel is the subjects of most of his paintings. Most times, painters in the Renaissance staged portraits of influential and rich individuals, majestic sceneries, as well as religious figures. Bruegel, on the other hand, painted an extreme minority alongside the usual Renaissance paintings, the lives of common folks. Bruegel also painted many portraits depicting common life surrounding the four seasons: fall, winter, spring, and summer. He was also quite talented at changing subjects into vernacular language better understood by the public. This is most evident in his paintings depicting famous Netherlandish proverbs. The first painting is the Tower of Babel that was painted in the year 1563. Its subject is the biblical story which is found in the book of Genesis. It is an oil-on-panel painting full of very light tones and plenty of shadowing to show the colossal size of the tower. Some Renaissance techniques include perspective, which is evident as the city goes from a large size in the bottom right and gets smaller the further away it becomes, until all you can see is a minuscule mountain range. The point of perspective would be in the top left corner. Other techniques include sfumato, which is found in the robes of the overseer and the tower itself. Naturalism is also present because of how detailed the sky, the water, and the surrounding greenery are. Using colors and shading, Bruegel has brought nature to life. Most interesting thing about the Renaissance is the return to Roman architecture with the use of arches in their towers. During the Renaissance, buildings were being built to resemble Roman architecture as well. This is shown in the painting of the Tower of Babel. The next painting is called The Peasant Wedding, which was made in 1568. It is another oil-on-panel painting, but its colors are much deeper, darker, and richer. It gives one the idea that the event is being held indoors and is a very joyous environment. Techniques include perspective. The people holding the plates are the largest, and individuals get smaller the closer we get to the doors. The point of perspective can be found in the top left corner. Another technique includes sfumato, which is found on just about everybody's robes. This painting is a great example of the genre that Bruegel was famous for. He concentrates on the feelings and the environment common folk have during the reception of a wedding. This was somewhat different from what was being painted at the time. This painting goes to show that the idea of common was becoming more prevalent in cultures. It was no longer just the wealthy that could inspire paintings. The third artwork is named Hunters in the Snow, made in 1565, the subject being seasons and the common folk life during the winter. It is once again an oil-on-panel painting. Its colors are very pale, a lot of white, gray, and light blues. No distinctive light source, giving it a very somber tone, leaving you with the feeling of the cold. Techniques present are perspective. The hunters are larger than the mountains, which are further away from them. Point perspective can be found in the top right corner. Another technique is sfumato, which is found in the mountain ranges in the top right. A number of different shades of blue, grays, and whites were used to give it a 3D shape and snowy color. And finally, naturalism. Most of this painting is the winter scenery, not the actual hunters. During the Renaissance, people began to explore nature, what was in it, and how everything works. This exploration can be seen in the detail of the winter scenery present in the painting. The final painting is called The Blind Leading the Blind, painted in 1568. The subject is a biblical proverb found in Matthew. Like the rest, it is an oil-on-panel painting and has a lot of dark tones of brown, greens, and grays. Some may consider these colors as poor colors, seeing as though peasants couldn't afford bright dyes. The darkness also gives it a very glum environment. Techniques include the sfumato on the robes of the blind men and chiaroscuro, which is a contrast of light and dark in the photo to give it a 3D feel. In conclusion, Pieter Bruegel the Elder was an outstandingly inventive painter and draftsman, and due to the continuity of the family trade and the industry that developed in prints after his works, Bruegel's impact was widespread and long-lasting. He offered a new view on life and had an extensive art portfolio that any artist should be proud of.
Created using Powtoon.